Yo, YouTube, it's your boy Steph, man, back at it with another YouTube UK documentary reaction. All right, we got the deadly war in Bedfordshire. Okay, Bedfordshire. The battle for Luton. I don't know if I did this a minute ago. This is probably like a updated. John, I'm not sure if I did, but it's always nice to get a refresher on what's going on in Bedfordshire, okay? Battle for Luton. So we finna tap in. You already know who it is. It's the boy Skyboy. So shout out to him. This is his content, and I'm just reacting to it. So be sure to tap them links down below. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man. And shout out to all the people in Bedfordshire, Luton. If y'all live there, put it in the comment section. Let me know if y'all live in that area. If y'all be seeing the shit that be going on that he about to talk about in this video, okay? And yeah. Without further ado, man, let's Skyboy take it over. Let's get it.
To Luton, a town just north of London with a reputation that precedes itself. Known for its working class roots and gritty neighbourhoods, Luton's story is one of resilience amid challenges. From high crime rates to tales of violence on estates like Marsh Farm. Luton is a place where life can be tough, but it's also a town that's produced some of the most polarising figures. You've probably heard of names like Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, and
there?
Tommy Robinson, who've made headlines for a number of reasons. Luton is littered with gangs all vying for control of the lucrative drug trade.
Whoa.
The gangbangers resort to extreme violence to keep their turfs. Join me as I dive into the battle for Luton, exploring its criminal underbelly and the people who shaped its name, for better or worse. Now, LTS is a small street gang based around Stopsley. LTS.
Okay, so let me look at this map. So we got LTS. I've never heard of those. 347, I ain't never heard of those. IC3, I think I've heard of IC3 before. OBK, haven't heard of OBK before either. CHK, I've never heard of these gangs. Where is this? Is this kind of like OT, like far away from like London per se? Let me know in the comment section, but I've never heard of these gangs, no cap.
Stands for Lucy to Slopsley and L-Town Steppers. The gang reps the colour white. The gang is split into two sets, with one of them being called S2K or Shoot to Kill. Now LTS have war with CHK, which stands for Chalk Hill Killers.
They're so close.
CHK are based around Lucy Farm, postcode LU4. We also have the Graveside and Marsh Farm Alliance. Graveside, also known as 347, are located around the Lee Grave area of Luton within the LU4 postcode. Marsh Farm are based in the Marsh Farm area of Luton within the LU3 postcode. Both areas are allied in their war against OBK.
Okay.
Now OBK, also known as Forside and also Fours, are based in the Lucy Farm and Hockwell Ring areas of Luton within the LU4 postcode. OBK flag yellow. Rapper Nath Smalls is also from this block. There's also ARG, which stands for Armed Response Gang, which are a gang based in Farley Hill and Bury Park in Luton within the LU1 postcode. They are predominantly of South Asian origin. They also have a small subset around Runley Road called Runley, who are known to flag white. They have beef with Kingsway Park, which is a gang based around the Kingsway Park area of Luton, also within the LU1 postcode. They are known to flag black and are allies with P6 in their war against ARG. P6 are a gang based around the Biscoe area of Luton within the LU3 postcode. They are known to flag brown. There's also Parkside, which are a gang based around the Hutton Regis and Hutton Hamlets area of Luton within the LU5 postcode. The gang mainly reps the colour purple and has war with IC3 and LTS. The IC3 is a small gang based around the Icknield Road area and Marsh Road. The gang reps the colour green, despite mainly focusing on money rather than beef. They have a long-standing rivalry with Parkside and are mainly allied with nearby LTS. Now let's have a look at these two men, Kyle Beckford and Delaney Brown. They were once school friends attending Denby High School in Luton together. Over time, however, they drifted into rival gangs. Delaney Brown was a Hockwell Ring member and became known as Dell's Man in the streets, while Kyle Beckford became a Marsh Farm member.
Wow.
On the evening of the 5th of September 2012, Delaney Brown was cycling on a stolen bicycle along the pavement of Vincent Road in Luton.
Oh, this is
Kyle
CCTV.
Beckford, driving a stolen silver BMW Series 1, deliberately mounted the pavement and struck Brown at speed.
Oh,
The impact was severe, locking the car and bicycle together, deforming the bicycle's rear wheel and propelling Delaney Brown into a brick gate post or wall. The force of the collision caused catastrophic injuries, including a crushed chest and broken neck,
Oh
leading
my
to Delaney
God.
Brown's death almost instantly at the scene.
damn.
The prosecution described the car as a weapon used deliberately to target Brown. Witnesses reported that Beckford was not alone. 3 other young men were in the car and another was riding a moped nearby, suggesting a coordinated attack. The
Wow.
incident was framed as a targeted attack rooted in gang-related tensions. Bedfordshire police launched a murder inquiry on the 8th of September 2012. The investigation was challenging due to difficulties in securing witness statements as fear of retaliation within the community hindered cooperation. Despite this, police made significant progress. 8 men were arrested in connection with the case. Kyle Beckford, aged 22, was charged with murder and appeared before Luton's Magistrate Court on the 9th of November 2012. 7 others, aged between 16 and 22, were arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to murder but were released on bail. A 26-year-old initially arrested for causing death by dangerous driving was released without charge. Beckford initially denied being behind the wheel at the time of the collision, claiming he had driven a car earlier that day but not during the incident. However, during trial he admitted to driving the vehicle and pleaded guilty to manslaughter, though he
What was the
denied
point of
intent to
saying
kill
that?
or cause serious harm. The court heard that there were substantial hostilities between these groups, marked by violent incidents in the months leading up to Brown's death. These included an attack on Brown's home, where he lived with his grandmother, Doreen Taylor, during which kitchen window was smashed and the front door was damaged.
See, this is why I got a problem with you UK niggas. How the hell do y'all keep finding where niggas live at? How is this happening? How do they keep finding where you live at? They're going to your Ma J's crib and busting the window open. That is a problem. How do these niggas know where you live at? Like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
A clash between gangs involving machetes requiring police intervention, an alleged ambush of Beckford's cousin by members of the Lucy Farm gang, which Beckford cited as the reason for targeting Brown. Beckford claimed he only intended to scare Brown, not kill him, because he believed Brown was involved in the ambush and had denied it. On the 15th of May 2013, the jury unanimously found Beckford guilty of murder,
Yeah, he's
rejecting
gone.
his
He's outta here.
manslaughter plea and determining he intended to kill or cause serious harm to Brown.
Hell yeah.
Judge Richard Foster sentenced Beckford to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 24 years.
24.
The judge condemned
shit.
Beckford's lack of remorse, stating
So if
he
that was like
showed a
2012,
complete
he's
lack
probably
of
about to be
remorse.
out soon.
Any tears are for the position you now find yourself in and not for the death of Delaney Brown. He also criticized the gang culture in Luton, saying there's no excuse for it, and praised anonymous witnesses for their bravery.
After the sentencing today, Delaney's grandfather also called Delaney told of the family's grief.
It is very sad to know that Delaney Brown's life was extinguished.
Drove him to Luton and Dunstable Hospital, where he later died. The incident was reported to have occurred in the early hours, and police noted a white Ford Transit-style van.
Hold on. What happened?
Friend.
On the 9th of April 2013, Paul Foster, a 46-year-old father of 3, was shot in the chest outside a house on Brunel Road. Friends drove him to Luton and Dunstable Hospital,
Fuck they shoot
where
the
he
father
later
for?
died. The incident was reported to have occurred in the early hours, and police noted a white Ford Transit-style van speeding away from the scene, which they were interested in tracing. Additionally, 2 cars, a silver BMW and a silver Vauxhall Corsa, were found abandoned near the hospital. Paul Foster, also known as Big Shine or Shinehead, was a well-known figure in Harlesden, Brent,
Okay,
before
he's
moving to
OG.
Luton in 2003, where many claim he later became a Lucy farm member,
Yeah,
while
he's OG.
others claim he turned his life around, worked as a cleaner and driver, was involved in the community work, including mentoring young people and helping them pursue recording contracts through a studio he operated. His family and associates emphasized that he had distanced himself from any criminal past through his connections in Harlesden and Lucy Farm area may have linked him to individuals involved in criminal activities. Paul Foster was also the uncle of Delaney Brown, the 19-year-old murdered in September 2012
Right.
on the Lucy Farm estate. There is no definitive evidence that Foster himself was an active gang member at the time of his death. His murder took place during a period of heightened gun crime in Luton, with 27 shootings reported in 2013, particularly between January and May. The Lucy Farm and Marsh Farm estates were noted for ongoing gang-related violence, with rivalries between gangs from those areas contributing to the crime wave. Foster's killing was the first gun-related fatality of the year in Luton, and a third of 10 shooting incidences reported by May 2013.
1 whole year on, police admit their investigation is no further forward.
We need you to speak. Your police will protect you.
My fault.
Paul Foster was a father and husband. His family say he was an innocent victim in the wrong place at the wrong time.
When they spotted Shay Stephen, who was a Hart Lane member, which is a set based in the Hart Hill area of Luton, predominantly around Hart Lane within the LU2 postcode, and had beef with the 347, also known as Graveside. Now the two Graveside members armed with knives would then proceed to approach him.
Y'all, we reacted to this footage before. We reacted to this footage, so we finally get in the background of what happened. Yo.
Within the LU2 postcode, and have beef with the 347, also known as Graveside.
Wow.
Now the two
I
Graveside
remember
members
this.
armed with knives would then proceed to approach him. Shay Stevens, despite being smaller than both of his attackers and outnumbered, showed immense courage and fought back. He backed out his knife
Yeah.
and instantly managed to stab one of them.
Yup.
The other member, who was Capo, then approached him knife in hand, but was overpowered, causing him to drop his knife and
yeah.
run off. The Hart Lane
remember
member
this.
then ran after him. Capo tripped and was repeatedly stabbed. The full CCTV is pretty grim. The two of them
Wow.
bloody, while Capo was seen dropping to the floor from blood loss.
Wow.
However, both would survive. All three men were later arrested and charged.
Damn. Damn. That's crazy. Alright, bro. Like, you're not even showing nothing, gang.
Possession of
Looking to stand out in today's job market?
You're gonna give me a 54-minute fucking...
I thought going back to school to get my education degree would be so expensive, but then I found WGU. Their
trade.
Come on, Skyboy. You gotta lock in, brother. You're not showing nothing on the screen. Just take it off, dude.
Shay Stevens, despite being the one to defend himself from two attackers, was sentenced to 7.5 years
Only got
at
7.5
Luton Crown
for
Court
that?
after admitting wounded with intent and possession of a blade.
Tight vibe.
Capo, real name Lucasani, was sentenced to 5 years. His co-attacker, Imani Pobby da Silva, got 12 months.
12 months?
On the 8th of June 2021, Parkside affiliate PAX, real name Humza Hussein, was outside of Chownley High School for boys in Stony Gate Road. The incident occurred between 3:30 and 3:45 p.m. and Humza died in hospital shortly after 6 p.m.
Damn.
from 3 stab wounds to the chest.
Damn.
The murder stemmed from a long-standing feud between Humza and a 16-year-old, Ibrahim Khan, who was later convicted of the crime. The conflict began with a school fight in October 2020, where Khan suffered a bloody nose, which Humza filmed on his phone. This incident led to Humza and a friend being permanently excluded from Chanley High School, while Khan was transferred to another school. Prosecutors stated that Khan harbored a grudge and was determined to act the same sort of revenge on Humza. On the 7th of November 2020, another incident occurred, where Humza was attacked by a group allegedly at Khan's instigation. Khan reportedly instructed another youth to shank Humza, resulting in serious arm injuries. Humza chose not to press charges for this attack, which prosecutors suggested was motivated by Khan's desire to humiliate him after the earlier school fight. On the day of the murder, Khan was seen outside Chanley High School intimidating the 14-year-old brother of one of Humza's friends, allegedly showing a knife concealed in his trousers. Humza was armed and the older brother had a hammerhead. During the confrontation, the older brother threw the hammerhead at Khan, who then drew a large and savage-looking knife. Humza attempted to restrain Khan from behind, but Khan broke free and stabbed Humza 3 times in the chest. One wound nearly passed through his body, causing devastating injuries. Khan then fled on his bike.
Boy, Jesus Christ. Boy, I'm telling y'all, in the UK, it get wicked, man. The nigga pulled, he said a viciously looking knife. We already know what that could be. That could be a ZK, aka zombie knife, or a Rambo. One of those. If it's looking viciously, them ZKs, them zombie knives, they the ones that look like they're from Elden Ring. Okay, so it go up like that, and it's sharp, and it curve. It looked like a Mindy. It looked like some crazy ass God of War sword, bro. And then he said that shit went through his body. God damn, man.
Hiding a knife and his phone to destroy evidence, while Humza was attended to by teachers, paramedics, and passerbys before being taken to hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. On the 13th of June 2021, Ibrahim Khan, a 16-year-old from Atherstone Road, Luton, was charged with murder and possession of a bladed article. A second teenager was arrested for violent disorder but released on bail. The trial took place at Luton Crown Court, starting in November 2021. Khan pleaded not guilty, claiming self-defense, but did not testify. The prosecution, led by Richard Wright QC, argued the stabbing was a premeditated revenge attack, citing the prior incidents and Khan's actions in lowering Humza to the school by confronting the younger boy. CCTV footage of the October 2025 social media posts were presented as evidence of the ongoing animosity, which may have been fueled by insults online. The jury rejected Khan's self-defense claim, and after less than 3 hours of deliberation, found him guilty of murder and possession of a bladed article on the 29th of November 2021. On the 30th of November 2021, Mr. Justice sentenced Khan to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 16 years, lifting reporting restrictions to publicly identify him due to the gravity of the offence. The judge noted Khan's lack of remorse, highlighted by his smirking at Humza's family during sentencing and shouting insults after the attack. Now, on the 18th of July 2021, ARG member Manny, real name Imran Sultan, was driving a Nissan X-Trail erratically on the M65, prompting police to pursue him after he failed to stop. He drove at high speeds, reaching up to 130 miles per hour, as indicated in a Snapchat post he made during the chase, and at times was recorded at 90 to 100 miles per hour on the police dashcam footage. He overtook vehicles on blind bends and narrow roads, eventually losing control on Accrington Road. His car mounted the pavement, crashed through a fence, and collided with a tree, flipping onto its side. Sultan suffered major head trauma and had his legs trapped behind the steering wheel. A female passenger walked away from the crash and was taken to hospital as a precaution. Manny later passed away in Royal Preston Hospital around 1:40 a.m. on the 19th of July due to multiple injuries sustained in the collision. Manny did not have a valid driver's license and was uninsured to drive the vehicle, which likely motivated his refusal to stop for police.
But why? Why? Bro, you was probably gonna get a slap on the wrist for that. Okay, cool. You're driving an expired license. Cool, bro. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? You don't got no insurance. That's like what, 3-4 months or something. I don't know the fucking laws out there and shit, but bro, you not going to jail for 20 years. Like, bro, you was better off just stopping and just taking a slap on the wrist, bro. They probably wouldn't have, unless you had some wild shit in the car. But I feel like if there was some wild shit in the car, like a gun, a bladed article, or something like that, then Skybo would have said it. But it seemed like you didn't have nothing in the car. It seemed like you just had expired insurance, and you had an expired license, bro. They's not putting you in jail for that, gang. Like, you could have still been alive today, bro. I'm just saying, bro. RP to him, though, man.
ARG member Wads will later honor him in this music video. On the 19th of April 2022, at 4:36 p.m, OKP members will slide via car to the Marsh Farm.
Whoa, it's like 50 niggas.
Marsh Farm members spotted their ops driving and flipped the script. Shots were fired at the car in the Marsh Farm area. The car targeted an attack crashed into a vehicle in front which contained an innocent family, though they avoided serious injury. The trio, who were on push bikes and wearing black hoodies and face coverings, fled the scene.
What?
Police later identified the three Marsh Farm members involved, and a week later, officers carried out early morning search warrants. Lewis Gatehouse and Samuel Martin were both arrested. The last man, Kendall Bizimana, handed himself into police station shortly after. Lewis Gatehouse and Bizimana pleaded guilty to attempted grievous bodily harm with intent and 2 counts of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. Gatehouse also pleaded to possession of a prohibited weapon and a Class A and Class B drug offences. He received a total of 17 years and 8 months in jail. Bizimana was handed a sentence of 11 years and 1 month for the firearm offences. A 6.5-year sentence for GBH will be served at the same time. Samuel Martin, 18 of Luton, pleaded guilty to attempted GBH with intent and threatening someone with a bladed weapon. He was jailed for a total of 5.5 years. Now on the 14th of April 2023, Greyside member YD, real name Derek Kinyua, was at a shop on Hitchin Road with a friend who he would then leave before turning into Crescent Road. He was then confronted by 4 OBK members outside an address on Crescent Road. 2 of them, armed with large knives, chased and attacked him. CCTV footage captured one of the attackers lunging at Kinyua, inflicting multiple stab wounds to his neck and chest. Following the altercation, YD collapsed at the intersection and was pronounced dead shortly after being taken to hospital. As we know, 4 individuals were involved in the confrontation, with 2 directly responsible for the stabbing. 3 were arrested and charged, while 1 remains at large. A 17-year-old boy who can't be named for legal reasons was charged with murder on the 25th of May 2023 and appeared at Luton's Magistrate Court on the 26th of May 2023. He was found guilty of murder on the 6th of November 2023. The 2 others who were at the scene, Malcolm Mangua, 23, of Verdi Close, Luton, and Shaquille Morton, 20, of Upwell Road, Luton, both known as SK and M Drills in the streets, were found not guilty of murder at Luton Crown Court. Now in early 2025, Marsh Farm member Mooney was stabbed and shot at in broad daylight by OKB members. Civilians managed to record paramedics tending to his wounds.
Oh my gosh, boy.
Another shooting between Marsh Farm and OKB was captured, this time on a doorbell camera.
A word? Oh yeah, so they chilling on the block. So we getting popped. Yeah, they definitely on the block right now. Trying to figure out where they're gonna come from. What side they gonna come from? Oh! Oh, that's where they came from. They came from the right side and they started popping at him. Oh. Niggas is running down.
If you've been watching my content or any other gang-related videos over the years, you would have noticed that in-house beef is common. Despite already having a lot of enemies, animosity between members of the same gang is very common. This was the case here, captured on camera. A Marsh Farm member brandishing a firearm and threatening to shoot another Marsh Farm member.
Why?
Thankfully, it didn't escalate beyond threats. As for gang wars and looting, it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. The cycle of violence continues, and that brings me to the end of this video. The uncensored version is on their Patreon.
Yeah,
Please
check out
don't
his
forget to
Patreon
like
if
and
y'all want to go
subscribe.
check that out. Man, let me find out looting is bussin', boy. And looting in Bedfordshire, wherever that shit at, bro, sounds like that shit. Sound like y'all niggas just like it's low key over there, but it's, boy, don't be lacking rise cracking over there, boy. I'm telling you. Hey, anyway, shout out Skyboy, man. Got some great info. That shit is crazy, bro. It's crazy out looting. Y'all be safe out there, man. Be sure to tap them links down below, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.